Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Initiative Order. And welcome to the next installment of Far Realms, our KULT Divinity Lost Homebrew tale, where I lead a group of lost souls beyond the veil as your keeper. But real quick, before we start setting the mood and introduce our amazing cast for this chapter, quick shout out to our sponsors. First on the list, we have Session Zero Clothing, D&D inspired streetwear. You can use code ORDER at checkout for 15% off in their shop. We have Norse Foundry. They are artisan dice makers. They have several sets that I'm eyeballing because I really need a set of wood dice right now, but you can use code TIO15 at checkout for 15% off there. Next up, we have Roaming Player Gear, amazing tabletop gaming supplies by our very own GotDM. You can use code Carnaby20 for 20% off the Dice Tower and Tray combo set. Last but certainly not least, we have Mithril Armory. They are creators of insane dice, tabletop tiles, and gaming accessories. They have the 10-20 foldable metal dice puzzles that kick my ass, but maybe they'll do better for you. If you want at checkout, you can enter in code initiative there for 10% off in their shop. I am also a sponsor under the moniker of Umbral Oculus Dice. It's UO_ dice on the Instagram, link in bio for my shop, which I do have a stock in set. Like, I have stuff in stock now. There you go. Code initiative for 10% off full sets there. And of course, as always, if you dig what we do and you love watching Jay have mental breakdowns on a bi-weekly basis, you can always support us through Ko-fi and tip the players, because sometimes they go through a lot and we love them. And also thank you for any subs and bits, etc., that go to TIO and support everything that we do here. Okay, so let's start it off. Let's start with Ronan. Go ahead and introduce yourself and Fox.
Hey, yeah, I'm Ronan Fox. Then that's it. You can find me on Twitter, where I'll talk about my book that I'm trying to write. Yeah, that's it. And today I'm playing Fox, and it is extremely loosely, completely, totally based on me. That's it.
Yep. Ronan made his great return back to the socials of media via Twitter, surprisingly not to share his face with us, just his words.
There'll be selfies.
Oh, dear God. So, hey.
Oh, what can I say? It's Jay, Casual. You can find me on all social media at Just2Casual, tweeting all about things on the Instagrams as well, telling you about how awesome I am in so many ways. You can also follow me over on Twitch at Casual Creativity, where I do variety streaming focusing on diving through Dragon's Dogma, rechasing the heart that was stolen by a dragon, as well as my world-building expeditions of Deep Breath. What's Deep Breath, you ask? I'll tell you. It is the retrofuturistic urban fantasy setting inspired by anime, manga, and JRPGs, where magic meets technology. All that's available at Deep Breath RPG on Twitter and Instagram, as well as the website deepbreathrpg.com. That's DEEP bread THRPG.com. Every time I do that, I realize I'm a commercial in the way that you like hit us up. Anyway, I am Tyson, the one who finds their mind broken in the most ways and feeling their spirits dampened. But today, we are prepared to face the same day as before.
And our very special guest for this chapter, Rachel.
Hi, I'm Rachel Beauregard. You can find me on Instagram at Bad Duck Design. I make things that are nerdy and gay, mostly memes. I am an actor. You can find me on an upcoming episode of the Whiskey Reacts podcast with my partner, Renee Beauregard. I have so little going on in my life. I am going to be appearing on a television show in the future, in the next coming months. And so once I have more details on when that will air, I will share them with you. But if you want to keep up with that, you can follow me on Instagram on my personal, which is Manic Pixie Tank Girl. I'm playing Alice, who is your local grouchy cam girl who's kind of annoyed that this is just one more thing she has to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And I'm excited to... I hate cats. Not me, Alice hates cats. But yeah, that's where we're at.
Awesome. Not the hating cats part, but awesome. So, my name is Taryn Hackett, also known as Val Rook across the socials, generally creative human and eldritch entity, and a dice maker under the moniker of Umbral Oculus Dice. I am also over on the Red Hair Inn on a by like every other week basis as well, playing my Simonin role in the Ecriom Expedition, which Jay and Ronan are both also part of. But my character is just cooler than theirs, so I don't blame them. But we are playing this coming Tuesday, where my backstory might kill people. Who knows? So you'll definitely want to catch us there. And of course, I'm here on the Initiative Order, various things, and every other Sunday tormenting these beautiful, beautiful people. Okay, and a quick heads up before we jump into the game. This is a horror game. There are extreme horror elements similar to horror movies and other things in the genre. We will dabble in mental health and other issues. If for any reason something triggers you and you need to take a step back, please feel free to do so. We do have a horror contract between myself and the players where we have discussed lines and veils, and we have this understanding and trust within each other to move forward with a game of this subject matter. So, with that, your perception has failed you. What you think you know is only just the surface. But you should probably wake up. The alarm's going off. And there's a really funny smell in the air. So let's take a step beyond the veil and see what fate awaits you all. Alrighty. So, last episode, you each awoke in your apartment building. Some of you having slightly nicer means than others, yet still around the same time. Various annoying noises woke you up. Tyson, you began yet another monotonous day, brainstorming, connecting plot lines, getting ready to take pictures. Alice, another day on the grind, waking up, going through your messages, mundane, dank. Fox, waking up, being prepared to bask in your own glory, only to have your day thrown off kilter. The fire alarm goes off in the building, and you were all pushed to evacuate. Noticing on your way down various other tenants, but also noticing first out of the building was a young woman in a black hoodie. Could not see her face, but you did see her make her way away from the building long before anybody else. So with that, you kind of began to pick up on the fact that the three of you were more aware than those around you. You were catching on to details and a feel that something wasn't right. Needless to say, you kind of banded together and went to make your way to a coffee shop to get away from prying eyes. Only, of course, to be followed by a fluffy black cat who seemed to be a lot more aware than your average house cat. You made it to the coffee shop, only for things to just begin to fall apart. The cat making its way in, attacking you, seeing and hearing crazy sights outside, a possible kidnapping, watching the police ignore it and drive away. Noticing that the storm clouds in the sky weren't quite right, witnessing visions of ash falling from the sky and sticky brick on the street, seemingly with blood. Eventually, due to some of Alice's connections, found a way out of the coffee shop, through the sewers, and to a subway, where you stumbled upon a gruesome scene of some kind. But before you could really get a grip on what was happening, Tyson, you recognized Jack and Silas at this scene. Fox, they're vaguely familiar to you as you've written about these characters. Alice, you recognize Silas as one of your followers. Only to find yourself suddenly shunting up in bed. Your alarm goes off, Alice. The heating kicks on. There's a tapping of a mini blind because the air has just kicked on. Tap, 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 tap. And the date on your phone is the same as it was when you woke up. This is the same day. How does Alice react as she is shunted awake?
Probably just laying there for a minute, trying to see if it's just the feeling of it being the same day as they are all bleeding together. And then checking on my various platforms to see if the messages are the same, if there's anything new, if there are notifications that have suddenly reverted to being unread, and just...
There are a couple that are unread that you could have sworn you read. Granted, a lot of Silas's messages seem to be the same. Looking forward to today's post.
I'll take a quick selfie of myself, just like, oh my God, just woke up, just like looking cute. And gonna get up and start getting dressed a bit, like in a bit more of a prepared way, a bit warmer than the day before, just in case.
Okay. Fox, you shunt awake and find yourself in your bed. The heating kicks on, the air catches you in the face.
First thing I do, since it was such a vivid dream, is I always keep a notepad beside my desk or beside my bed. So I will jot down just quick notes based off of everything I can remember from my apparent dream that was very lifelike. Specifically, Alice, Tyson, the cat, some of the things Tyson did, the coffee shop, the cops, and the subway situation. I will check my phone. And you said it's the same date as
Yep.
the previous time I woke up. I think I'll just sort of head out. I'll put on some clothes and I'll actually do the same thing Alice did. I'll dress a little warmer than what I normally would. And I will just sort of go out into the hallway, sort of down to the floor where I know Tyson is, because I don't think I know where Alice actually is, but I know I've seen Tyson's place, and just kind of just meander with my cell phone in hand, and I will have brought my charger as well, just in case.
All right. Your phone is currently at 54%.
Damn it, I never charge it at night. Okay.
Just so you know, currently at 54%.
Okay.
As Alice, as is yours. Tyson, you shunt awake. The mini blind, the string, tap, 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 tap.
Irrelevant, because Tyson immediately grabs the cold gear, the knife, takes a picture of the actual specific article about the subway, gets like a very clear, and actually no, I think I actually have the article, so I'm going to just take the article itself from my wall, pocket that, go into my pantry, and specifically grab items that I believe would help with deal with whatever creature I think that gray piece of mesh thing, as I kind of start to get dressed and trying to rush over there half dressed, and then immediately go like checking my shoulder. Thing is, there would be a scar from the other one. I'm seeing if it looks like a different scar.
Nope.
And then immediately is like, gets ready, grabs the ingredients from the extra pantry, mass ton of salt, knife, and other things that create ritual circles, and also a lighter this time.
Okay. So you're just hanging out in your part, or you're making your way out?
I am immediately making my way out and immediately just going straight to the ground floor. Like, comes out and is like going to the ground floor.
Okay. So with that, as you're heading to the ground floor, Fox, as you're heading down, at the end of the hallway, as you're heading down, Fox, you see a young woman in a black hoodie quickly making her way down the stairs.
Can I try to catch her? Like, can I mean, is it within catchable distance, or is it?
It's like you come down a stairwell and she's going down the other one. Like, you barely catch sight.
Okay, well, then I'll yell after her and try to, hey, stop. And I'll continue
as
going
you
downstairs.
Do that, you begin to hear the footsteps move faster. You can hear the steps like boom, 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 faster.
All right, then I will start skipping a step and sort of hopping down the stairs.
Okay, so you are running after this young woman, Tyson. As you are making your way to the ground floor, you begin to hear the stairs rattle above you. Now, Alice, while all of this is going on, are you going about your morning, or are you electing to wait for the seeming signal of the previous day?
I'm going to kind of cautiously prepare should the same situation occur, like put my charger in my bag, like bring all the stuff I had yesterday. And because I'm a woman who exists in a city, also put things like maybe my pepper spray in my bag, first aid kit type, like not a fancy one, but just like all of my just in case situational supplies. But I am gonna like stay inside until I get like a definitive cue that it's gonna happen again.
Okay. So Tyson, above you, as you're making your way to the ground floor, you begin to hear footsteps. Heavy, frantic.
Very simply, Tyson doesn't care. Tyson is heading for the front door of the building.
Okay.
Tyson
You can continue to make your way, and about the time you land foot on the ground floor, and Fox, you were continuing to make chase, like this person is running from you and like legitimately does like hops over the rail and makes their way, like is getting away from you and getting out of this building. Tyson, your feet hit the ground floor. Fox, you are on what you know to be the second floor when the fire alarm goes off. And everybody in the building begins to evacuate.
Still focused on her. I'm just continuing headlong, and I knew that was going to happen subconsciously anyway, so I just keep going.
Okay. So you were continuing after Tyson. The fire alarm has gone off as you hit the ground floor.
Tyson is running outside. Tyson needs to get a perfect view of the outside building.
Okay.
We'll specifically try to go across the street too, to observe the building and everybody coming. Is like doing major, like getting images of it. Like my camera, I'm snapping because I'm going to review this all.
Okay. Yeah. So you make your way out the front. There's a little bit of morning traffic, but it's pretty slow. So you just kind of bob and weave right across the street. Fox, your feet hit the ground floor, and this young woman, as you hit the ground floor, let's go ahead. I need you to avoid harm, because as you hit the ground floor, she's like maybe like one rung ahead of you.
Uh, 15.
15. Okay. So yeah, you come down the stairwell and there's a fist and an arm that comes up and you manage to duck just under as this young woman swipes at you before kicking her leg out and booking to the front door.
Could I get a look at her face?
Go ahead and let's roll for it.
Perception? 11.
11. Yeah, so let's see. With that, let's do, so with that, you get like a slight glance. Like you don't see hair color. All you see is like just faces. There's like a hoodie that's bound up pretty tight. You do definitely take notice that it's like a death metal like sweater. Some kind. You can't really make out the logo. It's like that brutal. But you do notice on this woman's face like really dark circles, very worn looking, and like in many ways, and I'll go ahead, like, at least with that too, you're going to pick up on the fact that they're aware. But they just seem hell-bent on running from something. And they make it out the front door. And immediately, as they had done before, book the same direction as they did previously in your dream.
Did I get, just in that momentary glance, was she avoiding me or something else?
With your roll, you're not certain.
She was just running.
She was running. You can just tell that she was, like I said, she was aware. And so you have like a slight inclination to believe there's probably something greater than you that she's running from, but you can't really be certain. But Alice, the fire alarm goes off.
Do I have a fire escape?
You do.
I want to start going down that way.
Okay. So you lift your window. It's a little tight because you never use this. Go up and out and look over. And as you look out and over, you see the girl in the dark hoodie running down the street from something and then ducking into an alleyway.
Definitely suspicious. Like, probably runs through my head that somebody set off the alarm, like smoking weed in the stairwell again, and they just don't want to get caught. But I'll proceed to just climb down and get to the street and walk over to the other side and just probably light up a joint and wait to see like if the fire trucks are going to come and they'll let us back in and get on with my day, that kind of stuff. So I'll just stand and scroll on my phone leaning up against like a building while this is all going on.
Yeah. So Tyson, as you're sitting there observing the front of this building, you do see Alice eventually make her way down the fire escape and come across the street, like maybe like half a block away, and is leaning up against the side of the building watching, sitting back and smoking. And Fox bursts through the front door, only for Fox to see, because you do see the woman in the dark hoodie book it out of that front door and run down the street.
So, and she's booking it before everyone else kind of had a chance to really get out of the building, kind of thing.
Yeah, she was first out of the building the day before as well.
And she's the one from before where I think there was a person who lingered after the fact before. Mm-hmm. Does her form match that person that I remember seeing linger when everybody was kind of departing after the fire subsided a bit?
Mm-hmm.
Is she also going the same direction that person from? Is she going the same direction from as yesterday's today?
Yep.
Is that the direction of the train?
Coffee shop?
The coffee shop / warehouse / so on. And lastly, because I got to get all my details right, there's also matches. I believe there was another hooded person that we saw also at the coffee shop.
Yes.
Yep. So logically, Tyson, after getting all the snapshots and seeing that of what needed to be, will sprint. Tyson is trained to just chase things against his natural instinct now.
A cop car comes up right behind you, and I need you to either, well, what do you do?
It's like, what do you mean comes up behind me? Like
you go to sprint after, and there's a car coming. Are you avoiding or are you enduring?
I'm avoiding. I'm avoiding.
Because again, emergency responders are showing up.
Yeah, no. That makes sense. Okay, so that's 2 plus avoid harm is reflexes. That's a 16.
Okay, fine. So you manage, just as you go to sprint, you find yourself instinctively jump back as this cop car comes right in front of you, and they stop and glare. Mm-hmm. And throw their door open, and immediately, I need you to step back. We've got a fire upstairs. Please stay over here. Don't stay off that side of the street. And the other cop comes out.
That could have gone worse.
Honestly, he wouldn't have enough time to keep talking to me. I'm. Yep. Nope. Tyson is not one to. Tyson is very.
Are you continuing your path across the street, or are you going down the block?
Thing is, I'm going on the straight route towards the lady. So I know, I'm aware, but like,
okay. I need you to roll your reflexes. Tyson.
Come on.
You realize it's not even just that like these people are telling you to stop, like you're trying to go across a busy street. Like,
yeah, no. Tyson, I don't know if anyone knows, Tyson doesn't make the best decisions, but Tyson got an 18.
Okay, so you go to run and you dodge like one of them reaching to grab you, and another car comes up and you manage to jump back out of the way of that one, and then I need you to roll again.
I feel like I should use one of my no, it's not yet. Okay. Ah, damn, that's gonna be a 14 for avoiding harm.
Okay. Let me have fun with this. Okay, so yeah, no, you dodge the swipe, another car comes, you duck out of the way of that just in time to get like rear-ended, and you get knocked up on somebody's hood. And I mean, it really just smarts, but it does knock the wind out of you. So Alice and Fox, you book it out this door. You look across and Tyson is dodging both cop and vehicle. Alice, you see this situation and you look over and Tyson comes like up on top of somebody's hood as they are now being also rushed by firefighters and police officers trying to restrain this person who is trying to cross the street in the middle of morning traffic while there's a fire.
I'm going to run over to them and say, I know this man. He doesn't like fire. He's got a phobia. He's trying to get away from it. He's scared to death.
Sit the fuck down. And they're like reaching up to Tyson and pulling him off the hood and taking him back across to the sidewalk. And one of them comes up and grabs you by the shoulder, Fox.
Hold on. They hold on to me. So do I still see the lady that I was trying to chase?
No.
Oh, I lost sight of her?
Yeah, like she ducked into an alley, like real quick. But you are now being led across back to the sidewalk. Alice, you have like a perfect fucking view because now there are people like rubbernecking. You know, people are like, who is this crazy motherfucker that was just trying to like dodge cars? So you have like people are just like slow-mo, like driving and watching this happen. So Fox, you were now stood beside Tyson. And this broad gentleman, like slick back, kind of like semi-dusty blonde hair. I mean, like you can tell their shift just started, like they're kind of tired. You can see like the full brand new like steaming coffee cups sitting there, like just got on the shift. Now, please explain to me why the hell you thought you needed to run across traffic when we have a fire truck coming because this building's on fire, and then you refuse to listen when we told you to remain.
I didn't break any laws, so therefore I don't have to answer any questions for you.
Okay, all right, okay. What's your name, sir?
Justin.
That's a good name. My name is Fox. I'm an author. You may have heard of me.
You read those detective novels, huh?
I do.
Yeah. My wife
just
reads them.
Amazing. I would be willing to sign one if you know she would want a signed copy. anyway, this is just a big sort of misunderstanding. Like I said, he is terribly afraid of fire. He's got a lot of anxiety. I know him from just being in the building, and we've talked before, and this whole thing has kind of throwing all of us for a loop. We're kind of, a little on edge. So apologies for his sort of rash behavior, but I think I can take him down to the coffee shop maybe or somewhere close by to kind of settle the nerves a little bit.
Yeah, I'd recommend just please keep him on this side of the street. I really don't want to deal with this shit right now. I'm not gonna lie. We got somebody did
Lots
something.
of things.
It's like an electrical fire or something. I don't know. It looks like some rats ate some wire, and frankly, I got more important shit than whatever this is. Ma'am, are you smoking that out here on the, like, as like all of a sudden Alice, this gentleman looks over at you. Is there not a better, you know what? I don't give a shit. And he just turns and he starts walking back to his car, as he seems just completely done with the start of this day. But yes. So you are all three now, somewhat staggered across the sidewalk. But Alice, you're watching this scene go down. What do you do?
Is there smoke coming out of the building? Like, is it visibly on fire, or is it?
In a brief instant, while you're staring at the building, you're staring at it, there's no smoke coming. And for like a brief instant, suddenly there's like this smog of smoke before like blinking and it's gone.
I'm going to look at my joint, kind of be like, fuck. And then I'm going to send a text to Silas that just says, already a weird day. Would you want to meet up later? And just send that, and just like kind of, I'm bemused by the situation that just went down with those men, but I'm just going to continue to stand there and scroll through my phone and just kind of see what goes down.
Okay. It's almost instant. You send that message and you get one just like on the spot back of like, absolutely. It's like, absolutely, like smiley face, like starry eyes, right? And supposed to go to a party later, totally have the hookup. I'll keep you posted on the time. When are you free?
I'll text back. I'll keep you posted. XOXO. Gossip girl.
Yep. Okay. And Fox and Tyson, you look up and you do see Alice on her phone.
Dude, what was that about?
We have to. There is an apex, a central point, a trigger to things that repeat, cycles, habits, behaviors. You have to catch them while they're available.
Yeah, no, I understand all that. I think it makes sort of sense, but you're not gonna be able to do that if you get arrested or killed before. I don't even know. Dude, I have so many questions, but I don't know how to ask them.
It's not about questions. It's just about getting the solutions to questions we've already had. Adding more questions gets you stuck in loops, repetitions, cycles of redundancy.
And this is a cycle, right? This is the same day if I'm not going crazy, which I think I am.
It's a day of precision, a day of absolute repetition. All things happen exactly as previously, which means in the circumstances of before. And then Tyson has a moment. The lady gets taken from the coffee shop. The coffee shop. Okay. That means people are subsiding. That means there's a small delay because of my actions, which means the delay puts things off, but that has nothing to do with our direction. We need to get, the lady gets taken, but the subway station, it's not the right way to go. It's a trap. It's a decoy, diversion.
As you look down, about 6 feet away, familiar black cat is just sitting on the walkway. People walking by, staring at the two of you.
Well, that didn't lead to any answers last time. Just a scratch that I don't have anymore.
Because it didn't happen, or it could happen. It's a loop. It repeats. It's a cycle. Circumstances repeat. Instances are
It begins
recycling.
walking towards you.
The coffee shop was partially right way. The warehouse was the location. We got to the subway station to
It leaps at you.
Tyson, as knowing that the cat leaps, because that's what it does before, I want to stab it in its face as it jumps at me with the knife that I had in my pocket.
Okay. Do the thing. That's engaging in combat, for sure.
I'm kind of upset that I had a -2, but also that makes it a 16.
That makes it a 16. Yeah, so you throw the knife up just in time to catch this cat in its throat. And you hear this low, guttural gurgle come out. As you look at it, the cat makes no sound apart from this and locks eyes with you. And its pupils go from round to flat. Not vertical, but flat.
I'd like to hit the piece on the bottom of my knife and release the salt in the compartment into the cat in the hopes that does something.
Okay, so you do this, and it begins to froth as its jaw drops open and lower, and it swipes up at your face with this like dislocated low
Yes.
jaw.
The dislocated jaw, my mortal enemy. I remember the dislocated jaw from the house.
With this, you're the way that you're holding this. I just need you to endure.
Endure, yeah. No, that's fair. That's very fair, actually. Dice be nice.
Or don't.
15, but with an endure. Oh, it's 0, so that's a raw 15. I thought I had a negative. I got scared.
So this jaw runs up and catches you up the side of your face. It is a minor scratch as you do manage to just kind of like recoil just enough, but you do have like 2 little like scratch marks going up the side of your face. Fox, you are witnessing this. What are you doing in this moment of Eldritch Kitty Meow Meow?
Standing in awe. I totally did not expect Tyson to bring out a knife. Okay, so what does the cat do after it?
That's what it's
all
done.
going on.
It's lashed out and it's like sitting there. It's not struggling to get off, but you see this as it like claws up. Alice, you are also getting just a long distance view of this.
Put it down.
Yes,
Have the
Alice.
cops noticed this?
Everybody else seems to be ignoring. Like, people are walking by like nothing is happening.
I'd like to remove my knife from the creature formerly known as Kitty Cat.
This, you hear like a wet, it's like this corpse hits the ground, and as it hits the ground, begins to like bubble and writhe and like bursts.
I'm gonna put my hand on Tyson's shoulder, just kind of guide him back a little bit away from it.
As it bursts, like this sizzling hot red blood-like ichor just kind of spatters, and it like splatters on people walking by, but they go on as though nothing happened. There's like viscera on them, and they're just going about their day.
So Tyson will kind of like, not in that like aggressive way, but remove himself from Fox's grip, turning towards the direction where the coffee shop and the warehouse was that led to the passageway, and while pulling out one of the many cloths and to wipe the blood off of the knife, but then we'll kind of put that into like a small little, like, not a bigger than a vial, but smaller than a jar kind of thing, one of the empty ones, to hold this bloody piece of fabric now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're 2 for 2 on the day. Fire alarm, cat scratch. Now we're going to the coffee shop.
Coffee shop's pointless. Redundancy. The warehouse. Coffee shop was a pause to get to the warehouse, to get through to the train station. Our first step, we're already probably too late. We have to get to the station.
So you want to go to the subway?
Immediately. We check the subway, see if the path is open. If it's already closed, then we have to go to the warehouse, go through the passage to get there. The coffee shop was irrelevant. There was nothing there. It was diversionary. We missed the woman. She's too far gone.
I'd like to already start walking in the direction, like not acknowledging them still, but like kind of walk by them in the direction of like, not the coffee shop, but like towards the neighborhood of the warehouse, I guess.
So you see Alice walk past you. Are you making eye contact, or you walk past you as though she doesn't know you? Not really.
We know you know.
I act like I didn't even know they were talking to me.
In a rush, Tyson, just because doesn't know how to walk anymore, will run towards the warehouse.
Okay. So Alice, you are walking. Tyson rushes past. Fox, are you following Tyson?
It's a good thing we're keeping our sanity, and then I'll just walk sort of behind them.
Okay. Well, Tyson is running, so are you like keeping pace with
It's
Tyson?
a brisk. Yeah, I'm not gonna run, but I'll just
Okay.
sort of morning mall power walk.
Yeah. So Fox, you do overtake Alice, and Alice assumingly makes no reaction. Yeah. Alice, as you are making your way that direction, a black limousine, completely tinted black windows, pulls up beside you. And the window rolls down. And a long hand with ashy, kind of grayish skin reaches out, covered in silver rings. Would you like to have a discussion?
You know, I was just about to call you. And is the hand like reaching for mine?
Yeah, it's like has like held out, kind of like in a cordial, like, yeah, cavalier kind of,
Yeah, I'll take the hand and get in the limo.
Window rolls up. Very dimly lit limousine. At the far end, there's a very tall individual, long, lanky arms and legs, a familiar black cane with a silver top, bowler hat, ashy gray skin, sitting at the far end. So what was it you were needing?
Well, first of all, you're not even going to offer me a drink?
You know where they are.
Assuming, because it's fancy, there's like some compartment that like...
Yeah, you like touch it and it just like comes up.
I'll just start mixing myself something strong. And then I would like to renegotiate.
Now those are some big pants you're trying to fit into.
Big pants for my big old dick.
I like you. Now, what exactly is it that you think gives you the grounds to renegotiate?
I found someone I think would be way more useful to you than I could ever be.
Now, who would that be?
Someone who has quite a clear view through all of this and seems to have a way out.
He's figuring it out, huh?
I don't know how long it's going to take him, but
Well,
I don't have that much hubris that I believe that I can get out of this entirely.
No.
I just want to, rearrange some terms and also not saying that you don't have things under control and that you can't contain the situation. I have an idea.
This is my game.
And I know that. So I was just hoping that I give you something, I get a little something for myself. Like I said, I know I can't get out of this entirely, but
I gotta say, you humans sure have been some of the most entertaining creatures I've come across in a long time. Your willingness to just absolutely turn on each other as a whole, I admire that. Now, you're right. You don't get to walk away from this forever. There's absolutely no chance. But if you're talking about who I think you are, a one Tyson James Everett. Am I correct in making my assumption?
well, I haven't seen his ID, so I'm not sure about his surnames, but Tyson sounds correct.
Throw a wrench at him. Don't. He's on to stuff. Don't let him. Until I give you the signal. Then, I want you to follow that path. And I'll make it worth your while. You don't get to get out of this. I can give you a promotion, though.
I was kind of looking for not more responsibility, just a bit more.
It's a pleasurable experience, I can assure you. It's more of a you get to be aware and I don't give a shit. So long as you fulfill a couple things for me. It's mostly playing my game.
Nothing would make me happy.
I'm always glad to hear it.
I'll just keep you in the loop then.
Please do. It snaps and the car just stops. I believe this is your stop. As you look out the window, you see the warehouse.
Fuck. I'm ever grateful for your kindness and consideration.
If there's one thing I am known for, it's my kindness.
Also, I'm taking this, and I take the drink in the glass with me when I get out of the car.
And you are in front of it enough, but it's off and to the side, so it's not the way that you entered in before. But if you look over around the corner, you do see down the street Tyson sprinting to this warehouse and Fox joggering, behind. But while all of this is going on in the vehicle, Tyson and Fox, I will say Fox, go ahead and roll to observe real quick.
Crap, I have a -1. 16.
16. Yeah, you do notice Alice get picked up by a black limousine. And with that roll, you recognize that bougie limousine anywhere. That's Samuel Walker. Basically runs the town, right? It's a bougie limousine picking up Alice. But you do remember that she has a fan base. She's got a lot of followers. But as you're jogging behind Tyson, occasionally, almost like it were right behind you, like literally floating right behind your head, you just hear, "Meow."
Don't like it.
Yep. But yeah, so you two
I'm
are
going to
right.
try to catch up to Tyson briefly. Hold on, just 5 seconds.
Time. What?
Look, I'm not disagreeing with anything of your sort of thought process, mostly because I don't understand it. But here's where I'm at. We have to decide exactly why we're here. I know you don't want to do that, but I think that would help us determine what to do next. I've read a lot of stories on Groundhog's Days, and they each come with their own sort of flavor as to why. My personal belief is that we are being distracted from something. I mean, I don't think it's a life lesson we're going to learn in here.
If we're being distracted from what? There are so many diversions. We have the fire pulling us away, but intentionally we're being separated from where we live, which means we have to be pulled out for a reason.
I think all of this, anything that would happen in this day, is just a distraction from something else. Maybe where we really are. If we're not here, then maybe our mental capacities are here and we're just being distracted. It doesn't matter what happens in here. It doesn't matter if we go to the warehouse, the subway, or the coffee house. We're just as long as we're in here playing, then that's then he wins. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I'm just saying that we should at least start contemplating those sort of things before we run headlong into any direction and just get woken up by a stupid heater again.
The problem is, if you wait, then the things happen worse. If you can get to the end of what the problem is, you can get to the solution. The asylum.
Crash of thunder. And overhead, storm clouds are rolling in, just as they had the day before. But thunder and lightning with a snowstorm is odd. Thunder and lightning with red clouds this time.
I think all of this is just a show for us to ask questions and ponder. But I do think we should get going.
Inside. Out of the storm. Out of the rain.
And as we're kind of picking up the jog again, what do you know about Alice?
Alice. Media influencer. Of sorts. Interactive. Charismatic. Socialite.
I'm going to tell him about the limo.
Connected, well connected. Money. Investors. Influencer pay. Limo? Wait. Why would it come up now? No.
Yeah, in here. That's what I was thinking.
Well, no. If she was aware today's yesterday, then she could have asked for help. She could have tried to change it herself.
Right. Or make it worse.
Worse? No. Worse? Why? Why? How? Worse?
If it's all a distraction, she could be a plant.
A black van zooms past you guys. almost up on the curb, knocking you back.
Okay, so the van pulls up. It
Doesn't pull up. It's hauling down the road.
So is this the same van that took from the coffee shop?
You didn't see that van before, only
I didn't.
did.
So then never mind.
I will make note that, I will say that's the van from yesterday. Mm-hmm.
Zooms past you guys.
I know I mentioned a van, but I'll just say that's the van from yesterday or today.
When he mentions it, is it like more than like a few feet away when he mentions it? Like it's
it's like hauling ass past you guys and you see it in passing.
Damn.
Can I get a plate?
Can we? Okay.
Can I read the license plate off of it? No.
I will say, actually, as you look at it, there's no license plate.
That tracks.
Which is, but again, Alice, down the street, you see this van come hauling past you, rounding the corner. But you do see Tyson and Fox.
Didn't know a limo was an option.
Are they within talking distance now?
They're down the block. Only if actually roll to observe to see if you would have seen Alice even peeking around the side.
No, Tyson wouldn't.
You wouldn't, but Fox is like
being a decent person and trying to figure things out.
Yeah, and Tyson's just like Charlie Daying it.
16.
16. You notice the only reason you see is like you get a slight wisp of blonde hair.
Are we hoping to beat those people to the warehouse? Is that the plan?
But you do see the wisp of blonde hair. You would pick up on the fact that he probably saw you.
But it drives by us towards the direction of the warehouse or a different direction?
It's just like past the warehouse and around a corner. Originally, you had used the warehouse to get to the sewers to get to the subway.
Yeah, we sort of determined that was going towards the city center of whatever that facility was.
Okay, hold on. I actually have to decide if Tyson's going to be coherent today. He's not. I rolled to keep it together and failed. Tyson's going to try to just sprint towards the warehouse because the only thing his brain recalls is the route to the subway, but to get there as fast as possible because he's running out of time from the last loop.
Okay. Alice, Fox, did you say I didn't know the limo was an option?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you hear that out loud. And if you kind of peek around, Tyson's sprinting towards the warehouse.
Maybe not an option for you.
It appears.
Tyson,
I just thought we'd try something. Wanted to try something different today, see if it had a different outcome. Didn't want to focus whoever's anger on us as a group, make us easier to find, to get, but we all knew where we'd end up.
Fair.
So you guys arrived to the front of the warehouse.
What time did we get there yesterday?
Right now, you're there early enough. This is a good solid hour before. Easily an hour to 2 hours before. You guys, at about this time the day before, you guys were fucking up in the coffee shop. So this is y'all are making better time today. You get to the warehouse. What are you doing?
So we go in, just hope there's no dead bodies.
Tyson is already trying to open the grate, is trying to get in to get the grate open. Tyson is following the path now.
Okay, so you watch Tyson finally get into the warehouse and over to the grate, which does require 2 people to get it open.
Tyson is aware. Tyson does not care. Tyson is trying to get it to move.
Tyson is struggling trying to get this grate and it's not moving.
I'm gonna look over to Alice and be like, last time I helped, maybe, to change things up.
Thing is, I just had my nails done and it's so painful to tear them off. Plus, I'm going to do some communicating just to make sure we're not walking into the same shit show as yesterday. 1 second. And I'll get my phone out and I'm going to start texting Silas again.
Mm-hmm.
And because he didn't give me the lead today, I'm going to text him. I heard about a party in the subway. Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, actually, who do you know? Like, we're basically, you get like a, yeah, actually, who do you know? ?
I'll text back. Oh, sweetie, I know everyone.
I mean, and I guess, of course, you get the response back of like, of course you would. Yeah, we're supposed to in about a couple of hours. We're just we're lining up the entertainment.
I'll send a last text that says, well, if you wanted to head over early, maybe you and I could have a little pre-party meetup.
You immediately just get back at where do you want to meet?
Just meet you at the 12th station? Or?
Mm-hmm. Number 12.
I'll meet you at the number 12 station in a little bit.
And you just get back heart eyes, sounds like a plan.
Okay, cool. No idea what's going to come of that, but I'll just put my phone away and be like, well, one of the people who was dead last time is still alive, so things are different now, I guess, but how's the grade coming?
Tyson's still pulling on it, obsessively. He's made an inch move and then you finally get it off. And then you hear from down in the sewer,
down after we opened it or after we try to make our way down?
No, after you open it down in the sewer, you hear that echoing through the sewer.
I'm going to roll for common sense. Okay, hold on. If I use my camera night vision real quick, do I see it at the direct bottom of the grate?
Yes. And as you take your night vision camera over it, its pupils do the same thing and go flat, looking up at you. And its jaw opens and lowers and rise and wiggles and then pops back as it looks up at you.
God damn it. Turns around from the grate. Cat.
Well, don't stab it this time.
Did we determine that cats mean we're going in the right direction or the wrong direction?
I
think it's kind of like a checkpoint.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. The cat is deterring us, but also pushing us. And
to be fair, it hasn't deterred us until we've messed with it. It only scratched me after I got too close, and it bit you after you stabbed it. So... Also, you threw it against the wall. I think you and him have some history.
These things attack a lot. I have been stabbed. I have been thrown against wall. I have been bitten.
You feel something rub against your leg, Tyson.
I kick whatever it is.
And then it will turn around and lunge at you.
I mean, that's fair, but since it's lunging at me, can I try to avoid it?
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to stab it again because...
You're bad with cats.
I'm not bad with cats. Cats are...
Bad with you.
Avoid harm. Damn, that's with a reflex of not enough. That's going to be a 14. Damn.
Yep. So this time it lunges and swipes across your face. As its like lunging past you. It's not lunging directly at you. It's trying to lunge in front of you. And as it does, its jaw pops out sideways and swipes over and catches you across one of your eyes. Currently, it is just bleeding and it's burning. You can still see out of it, but currently, like, there's blood getting into your eye. And so you find yourself stumbling backwards away from the grate. And then it turns and hisses at Fox.
Just sort of back away, give it its space.
Can I squat down and start making like the pss, pss, pss noises, like to be friendly to the cat? I hate it, but I'm going to do it.
So you squat down and begin doing that, and you just like you kind of get the like low cat like. As it, like,
I tried that.
As it slowly makes its way up, and its jaw like sucks back up, and it rubs across your hand. And then goes for your leg.
Oh, you bastard.
And I need you to either avoid or endure your injury.
I'm going to try to avoid.
Okay.
Ooh, that is a 15.
15. You pull your leg up extremely fast as it like swipes out, and then it sees that you have dodged it, and it like begins purring and like walks away with like tail twitchy, like towards Fox.
All right, I hate to tell you, I told you so, but you assaulted it and you got too close. That's exactly what I just said would happen. So I'm just going to keep backing up, and then kind of try to make a circle back towards the grate because that's where I want to head.
As you circle it back toward the grate, are you guys just kind of watching this tango happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no. Okay, hold on. So the cat's not in the grate.
It's well, as Fox begins to back towards the grate, the cat is like following you, kind of like the pupils still flat. And then two gray arms reach out from behind you, Fox, from the grate, and grab your ankles and yank you into the sewer. And I need you to roll to your roll.
Tyson jumps after, like,
yelp
immediately.
Oh no! What am I doing? What am I rolling?
This is endure.
That's an 8.
Ooh, yeah. So you are jerked down into the sewer, and you suddenly just feel this mouth chomp onto your kidney and like get in and like ring. As Tyson, you dive into the sewer after Fox. You do take 2 harm. This is a critical wound. If you do not deal with this immediately, it will kill you. So you have, and again, you land at the bottom. You look up. There are 2 black eyes and an ashy gray face with moths writhing out of its pocked flesh. Tyson, you land at the bottom of the sewer. Alice, are you following?
Yes.
Okay, so Alice, you come down and you guys see as you make your way, this little gray, almost childlike sized creature looks up at both of you and just as it has like rows of sharp teeth. And again, there are moths writhing out of pocks in its body that also seem to be feasting on the blood that is pouring off of it from having chomped onto Fox.
Can I try and use my lighter and my pepper spray to like throw flames at this thing?
Yep. Go ahead, just roll 2d10 for me. I want to see a thing. This is combat, right?
13.
13. Okay, yeah, no, you.
Oh, plus violence? Oh, it's a 0. So yeah, 13.
13. So like you throw this up and you pepper spray out. And I mean, you do manage to like throw fire at this thing because of the aerosols in there. And it lets go of Fox. Like Fox's body kind of like goes a little limp because there's a lot of blood pouring out right now.
Oh.
And of course, having done that, your pepper spray is empty. And Fox, you now look up at your two companions, holding your side, as above you in the gray, like above the grate, you hear "Meow," as there is a cat looking down, head tilted sideways, purring. And that's where we're going to take a quick break. We will be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. I love to leave things there. We'll be back to see if Fox still has a kidney and if the kitty meow meow.
Anybody have any gummy bears?
Chew them
Not
really fast.
again. But we will be back shortly. So stay tuned and see how bad they're off course today. Let's kill Ronan. And welcome back to Does Ronan Have a Kidney? We don't know. Definitely down one. But yeah, so last we left you guys, woke up same day over again, trying to jump ahead, trying to beat the system, so to speak, trying to outsmart the game. Tyson just running headlong into the chaos of the day. Fox clamoring to keep up. Alice seemingly making moves in the shadows. But that headstrong dashing into the chaos approach has landed Fox in poopy water, as he is now sitting in the sewers with a gaping wound where his kidneys should be after having been attacked by the ashen gray child that has the moths crawling out of its body. It's a familiar face for Tyson, especially. Fox, for some reason, while this is only your second time seeing this beast, it feels familiar to you. But none of that matters right now, as you're currently bleeding with a critical wound on a sewer floor after a quick thinking Alice blew fire in its face and it ran away. So what would you all like to do?
I would like to bleed.
Success.
I would like to does it look like he's gonna die relatively soon?
If something is not done to stop the bleeding and get him immediate medical attention, he's going to die. It's a horrible, if you look at it, I mean, it's like there's a chunk. All right, you can see stuff if you look.
Honest, sincere question. Does it look like something Tyson could fix?
No.
Tyson runs down the path leading to the subway.
Dope. Stay
Tyson.
safe, asshole.
Tyson takes off running and leaves Fox lying in the subway. Alice, what do you do? You get a text message at about that time from Silas. You open it.
Help me.
Yeah. Yes.
As you open it, ready when you are, I'll be there in 5.
I almost feel like this is something I would have to roll for.
This is tough. Are you going to abandon Fox? Y'all are horrible people, so I should know.
I have the sexual neurosis, so if there's a chance I could get laid, I would 100% leave him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nope. You see that text from Silas? You're catching those vibes.
I'm gonna die in a sewer.
Like, under the most rude circumstances, after getting your kidney ripped out, one just
9.
Yeah.
dips
No.
and says,
You
"Oops."
you book it. You like look and you start to back away, and you just turn and run. Following suit. Now, Fox. You're laying
Sorry.
there, gaping hole. What are you doing?
I'm going to try to drag myself up so I can at least sort of lean against the. I'm assuming there's like we're on like a path and like there's a wall, like sort of standard sewer style. Kind of drag myself over to the wall to lean up to it. That's a good question. I have no idea what I can do in this situation.
Y'all are traitors. I'm so proud of you right now.
I'm gonna look for the cat.
It's above you.
All right. I will call it down to me. Mirror.
Hops down, sits in front of you, looks at you very knowingly.
Yeah, I'm gonna die.
Starts purring.
If they fail, is my death permanent?
It like walks up and like rubs on your legs and then comes and sits back down in front of you with its head cocked.
How do I feel about that answer?
It seems knowing. You can roll, actually. Let's do that. Let's roll to interpret kitten mount.
Solid. What am I adding to that?
Let's do read a person, except it's read a kitten.
All right, we've done that before. Okay, that actually helps. 10?
10? Okay. You get one question. So what does you take from that?
Yeah, sort of. How do I read that response?
It's not permanent. It looks at you as though you'll see it again.
Okay.
And it walks up to you and begins licking the blood pouring down your leg.
I'm just gonna curse both of them, and then I'm gonna sort of lay my head back, and I'm just gonna pet the cat because I don't give a shit anymore. I'm gonna pet the cat and say, if you could just do me a favor and make sure that they don't succeed this time, that would be lovely. And then I guess I'm just gonna die.
Well, before we come back to that, then, Tyson, you are running down the sewers and you make it to the grate to the subway. Alice, you are close in tow, like maybe 15 feet behind. Tyson, you burst through that grate, and sitting on the stairwell, like in front of like the gated entryway, is Silas. Strung out looking, dark circles. But like in a grungy, like they kind of have it together way, but clearly shocked to see you as like you're not the person they're supposed to be meeting here. Alice, you come up like on like behind Tyson and bump and see Silas sitting there like joint in hand, like,
Is there blood on me?
yeah.
Tyson's gonna just be Silas. The asylum. Do you remember the asylum?
Uh,
Isao, Teddy, Nora, Eleanor. Tyson's going to get like in his face and like grab him by the collar. Do you remember?
elbow to the face.
Hold on, I gotta roll.
Tattooed arm to the face.
First, I'm gonna try to avoid harm. I think, I guess, would be the logical thing.
Yes, that would be the.
Damn, so close. That's actually gonna be a 21.
Yeah, no, you managed to like stop the arm from hitting your face, like just to where it's like right here. And Silas is like struggling to get back. And it's just like, what the fuck? I thought this was supposed to just be us. Like, that's not what I was signed up for.
Well, let me roll for keep it together.
Oh my God.
I'd like to stab him in the shoulder.
Okay. Combat.
Roll for violence. That is 14 minus 2, so 12.
As you catch Silas in the shoulder, Alice, you watch as a very tall, older gentleman, bald, in a cloak, comes up from behind and goes to stab Tyson. Whereas back with Fox, as you say this to the kitten Mal, its jaw drops open and it becomes larger as you say, just don't let them win. And it engulfs you. And in this instant, right before the knife hits you, Tyson, you all wake up in bed.
Tyson does not even hesitate to gather all of his, just don't even worry about the board anymore. Gets the camera, doesn't even go to the pantry, just gets camera, knife, and cold gear, and heads to the stairwell that he saw the lady come out of.
Okay.
And we'll be waiting on the door. Like, I'm assuming the stairwell kind of comes to like a doorway at the bottom. He's going to wait on the other side of the doorway and is planning to bait and is going to try and catch her as she's coming out.
Okay.
Just that's it. Just pure, not even like locking a door, just barrels through the door and leaves. Doesn't even care about anything else.
Fox, as you awake in your bed, there's something sleeping on your feet. As you open your eyes and look down, there is a fluffy black cat resting at your feet.
I will swing my legs over the bed, get my I'm definitely going to quit smoking, pack of cigarettes out of the bedside table. Fire one up and pet my cat.
Yeah, it's following you everywhere you go.
Okay, well, thank you, I guess.
It's still like bathing, and you can see there's still like blood on its face as it's like cleaning.
Just hurry up. Fire alarm's gonna hit any second.
Alice, you wake up in bed.
I am also going to very quickly gather all my shit, grab a flashlight this time. I feel like I, as myself, I have a baseball bat for when I'm home alone. I would also like to say that I have one of these.
Yeah, I mean,
throw that in my bag.
Yeah.
No, I live in the city. I need a baseball bat.
Mm-hmm.
Put that in my bag, and yeah, no hesitation this time. And gonna start. Screw the fire escape. I'm just gonna start taking the
the stairwell down as many steps at a time as I can manage and start heading out to the street.
Okay. So as you're making the stairwell, you see Tyson exiting the stairwell. And Fox, as you guys are exiting the stairwell, hitting the ground, the fire alarm goes off.
I will pack gear specifically with a couple things that they mentioned to flashlight, battery pack, that sort of thing, and then also first aid kit. But I am nonchalant as fuck. I am not racing anywhere anymore. So I'm taking my time, and me and my cat are just slowly walking down the stairs.
Yeah, it is climbed up on you, like on your shoulder, and it is like requesting baby holds. Like you are coming out slowly. So as you guys hit the front and you guys are waiting in the stairwell, nobody shows up. The fire alarm goes off, and as you glance through the front doors, running down the street, you see the girl in the black hoodie running.
Now, I see her running, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like she's running faster than I could run, just feasibly?
She seems pretty fit, like it's like this is a routine or something.
We're just chasing someone who's jogging.
If possible, I think let me roll. I'm going to roll my last bit of sanity. Okay. Tyson is angry. Tyson would like to give into the rage and hunt her now. Essentially giving into bound, calling on the specific entity, because that bloodlust that he has been trying to pretend that doesn't remember, he's angry, and this is the only person he can blame it on right now. So I would like to use bound to try and see if I can have the entity help me catch her so I can get answers.
Hang on. Okay. So as you are gearing up, hang on 1 second.
Because right now Tyson believes she's the one that keeps setting this fire, whatever it is.
Okay, so as you gear up and you begin to feed into this blood rage, the fire alarm goes off, people are beginning to exit, and like the edges like of your vision begin to turn black as before. And suddenly, as you call on this power, there's like a static that starts ringing in the back of your head. And it dizzies you. And you can't explain why. It drives you into this tizzy where you almost fall down. Alice, like, he bumps into you.
Stop and like kind of steady him.
And you just in the distance hear, like, you legitimately hear static. And coming down the stairwell up as the door is swinging open, you do see Fox calmly carrying the black cat.
Hey, assholes.
You were gonna die, which means it would start over.
You didn't know that for sure.
Actually, that's the only thing I know.
Maybe. Oh, I made a friend.
Apparently.
It's like purring.
I've named him Onyx.
Hisses at Tyson.
I'm still kind of dizzy and stuff, right?
Oh yeah, like you see Tyson kind of like trying to hold steady.
Tyson,
Something wrong?
I'm just gonna lean against the wall and sit down.
I'll like kneel next to him and like keep my hand on his shoulder and
I'm going
comfort
to
him.
walk forward and just purposely step over him and then out the front door.
Get out the front door. And it's a similar scene as the first time. Everyone kind of is just dispersing, and you can see cops starting to pull up. Alice and Tyson. What are you doing?
Keeping it together. Tyson's just kind of sitting against the wall, just kind of slumped, just also trying to get my focus back. I still hear the static too as well, right?
Yeah, so you start to hear the static like slowly fade and your vision kind of recenters and stops swaying. Do you roll 2d10 for me? I want to see something.
That's a 6.
You're too dizzy to really try to notice what might have set that off.
No, that's fair. Tyson actually does nothing. Tyson sits there waiting.
Fox, as you're sitting outside watching, you see the people enter the building as before. These two officials walk in. I need you two to evacuate immediately. There's a fire. You understand fire?
There's no fire. None of it's happening.
Do you need assistance?
He's fine.
I mean, he doesn't sound fine. We could always... The paramedics will be here shortly to make sure everyone's okay. I'm sure the charge nurse would be more than happy to check on your friend here if they're wounded from the smoke inhalation.
That would probably, be a concern if there was smoke. But we're going to be fine.
There is smoke, and as this person and like solid black, almost like it would be like a kind of almost it would be almost like Scrubs. It's like solid black, very tightly kept, kind of odd. As they say that, you look around you and there is smoke beginning to billow where there was none before from the upper floors. Fox, from the outside, there's nothing going on. You just see them talking inside.
I want to look at Tyson and like put his face in my hands and just very seriously like, get up.
To what? To get away from the flame? It keeps luring us away. Why not just go into it?
I'm going to need you two to evacuate. There is a fire.
Now, Tyson will stand up, however. And then, like, begrudgingly walk out of the building.
Sorry, just give like a annoyed, like facetious smile at the fake orderly or whoever, and just follow Tyson out and kind of do a scan of the crowd, see if there are any like horrific faces that I recognize. Just okay.
Nope, everyone is kind of dispersing and standing there. And as you get outside, Fox, you would have first noticed this standing outside. The ground is sticky. The storm clouds that are building above are red. And the ground beneath you is sticky with dried blood. And not in patches. Everywhere. Everything appears to be coated with this. And Tyson and Alice, as you step out, that's what you see as well. Everything else is as is. Those walking around seem none the wiser, but as you look around, that's what you see. As you turn back to look up further at the building, you can see like barred windows where you know there are none. You do see blood dripping from some of these windowsills.
Is there an alternate way into the building that I would know of?
Fire escapes and then the laundry, like kitchen area downstairs.
Okay. So after that shock of getting outside, that was my original intent, was to kind of walk around to the back of the building and just make my way back into it.
Okay. As you guys make your way out, you see Fox making his way around.
Tyson,
Yeah.
do we stay or do we go?
And he, for a moment, like looks at his hand and just kind of like is like doing that pulse, trying to almost like feel if his hand is real. I don't feel right in multiple ways. Everything is wrong out here. You go to the source of a problem. And like almost as if like something clicks. Source of the problem. And then Tyson wants, is it from where we're at, is it possible to sprint into the building up a path where the immediate people who came in wouldn't notice from this side anywhere?
Not the front side. It's like just double glass doors and then that entry like foyer. You do know there is a back entrance, but like right now, like it looks like there are people standing in there.
Tyson has a small revelation and then will calmly, almost eerily calm for Tyson's recent demeanor, some would say casually, to the back.
So you follow as Fox, you make it to the back. Alice, are you following Tyson?
Yeah, but still keeping an eye out to see if there's anybody new popping up or if anybody, like any of the official responders, are following us.
Yeah. Doesn't look like anyone's immediately following you guys. So Fox, you hit the back door first. It is unlocked. There's like a brick in the way because like somebody had stepped out and then was going to go back in. As you open into the kitchen, it's all stainless steel, countertops, appliances. Onyx jumps down and skitters off into the kitchen somewhere.
Lots of food. I will. I'll just tell you my goal. My goal is to stealthily eventually make it to Tyson's room, or Tyson's apartment, I should say.
Okay. Well, there are two routes then. There is an elevator, and there is the stairwell. There are two stairwells. There's like one on either side. But as you go in, there's no smoke.
I would imagine the stairwell or the elevator is probably offline. All right, so I will sort of peek my head into one of the stairwells, the ones that's closest to me, and just see if I hear, and check to see if there are any signs of people traversing those stairs. And if not, then I'll use that one.
Nope. Doesn't look like it at all.
Okay. Ronan doesn't know what floor, but I'm sure Fox does. Whatever floor it's on.
You start to make your way up stealthily. Like you notice It's quiet for a while on most of the floors. From further up the floors, you hear screaming from upstairs somewhere. But you do make it to Tyson's room.
Well, if I heard screaming, I would probably continue up towards that.
Okay. As you continue upward, Tyson and Alice. So you make your way around to the back. You can see that somebody's already let themselves in. Obviously, you assume that it's Fox. You enter into the kitchen, and the fluffy black cat is just sitting up on one of the countertops, like twitching its tail and looking at you both as you enter in.
Did Fox come this way? I asked the cat.
It like meows and just jumps off and begins to walk further into the building.
Based on all things Tyson may know,
Mm-hmm.
the vents. Is there like a specific area where the normally, I mean, I know some buildings it's usually the roof area, but is there like a specific maintenance area that would have circulation's main maintenance area, like a main ventilation space,
Like the furnace and all of that.
stuff like that?
It's in the basement.
It's in the
Of
basement.
course it is.
Do I know how the best route that goes in there? Like, is there like an emergency area in the employee space, the lobby, or more so?
It's like kind of like in the area that you're in right now is like janitorial, kitchen, and like it's those things. So like there is an entry from where you are currently at down there. It's just like there's like a there's a closed door and it says furnace with stairs underneath, like a symbol for that.
She didn't come down the stairs like she's supposed to, which means she is not running the same routine. She's avoiding intentionally. There is no fire. I would like to try and find in this kitchen area. Can I find any like any types of herbs that are around?
I mean, there's all kinds of. I mean, it's a kitchen, like you know. I mean, it's probably like super generic herbs and spices, but yeah,
it's fine. I just need something to shock me. I'm gonna grab whatever herbs I already know would cause this effect to, when snorted, causes like a massive sinus pressure pain. I want to shock.
I'll say the first thing you grab is cayenne.
Yep, just to shock myself.
Oh God!
While attempting to see through the illusion.
Okay. You are struck with severe burning pain in your face.
Yeah, no, that's
okay. Yeah.
In order to see through illusion, I go through shock. That's what it says. So I would like to try, if that's possible, to see through the illusion.
Mm-hmm. Roll for it.
That is going to be a 16.
16. So you're still standing in the kitchen. You look around. On the stove, there's a bubbling pot. There's viscera hanging over the edge. As you look around the floor, it's black. But as the door kind of swings a little bit with the new coming in cool air, it's dark red. It's old, dried blood completely coating the floor. There's viscera across the countertop. You look at the spice bottles in the pantry where you were just digging. There's like a finger in one. One of them that was like a pickle jar is not pickles. There's like human eyes resting in some kind of liquid. and there's a horrible stench permeating the entire area. But that's what you see. Before returning,
I want to know what I saw by the furnace door.
By the furnace door. Alice, actually, do me a favor. Where are you standing in relation to Tyson doing this?
I was probably pretty near him, like, because when he did that, it was pretty shocking to me. But is he just kind of spinning and is like looking around?
Yeah,
where
that's my question is like, are you like scanning everything around you, or are you
It's more so trying to approach towards both to get an eye on the stairwell and the furnace. I want to see what those paths look like. I want to see if the furnace basement is the route or if going up is the route based on how things look.
Okay.
Usually the more gruesome, the more I should go towards it, is what I've learned so far. So,
it all seems horribly gruesome, if I'm honest. Everything around you seems consistent. Roll 2d10 for me. I want to see how lucky you are.
You know I'm not lucky.
Bitch, you rolled like a 21, okay?
Yeah, but like that's not when you ask about luck. I rolled a 5 now.
Oh, well, yeah, that's all you see. And you like look towards the door.
And your kidney's gone.
There. You, as you begin to like kind of near the furnace to get like a better feel, there is a familiar, presence briefly, like kind of out of the corner of your, like what would be like the, like kind of like the corner of your eye, but it's like a feeling.
But if I try to scan that feeling, that's the key here. Anything there?
Yeah.
Because I need to.
Well, it feels like it almost feels like it's in the room with you, but it, like as you're looking, I mean, everything looks like viscera and awful.
Tyson's decided the stairwell is the way to go, and we'll aim just to keep going up to the roof.
Okay. You're making your way up. Fox. So you said you're going to follow the screaming.
Yeah, but I'm like Jack in like the second act of The Shining. Like I've already died. This is fine. I'm at one with the entity. Like this is not a big deal. So I am hearing the screaming, but it's of no concern. I'm just going towards it because it's the most interesting point.
Okay. You continue to make your way up. It gets louder. Occasionally you hear groaning coming from down the different halls. Do you ever stop to look at any of these, or you're going towards the screaming?
Is the screaming perpetual?
Yes. Like it's kind of ongoing. It sounds like somebody's going through something awful.
I will give cursory glances in the direction of groans to see if I see anything. If it's not blatantly interesting, I'm just going to keep going towards the screen. So
as you look down the hallway at one point while you were making your way up, you look down a hallway and you see this kind of grizzled older gentleman wearing like a plaid like flannel. Like you see him from behind, and like as he turns around, you can see just the front of him has been just eviscerated, and he seems to be aimlessly wandering in pain as he just seems in shock, and as he sees you, he begins to run at you from down the hall.
is he like making good speed? Like, is
No,
it?
it's slow. It's like
Yeah. Okay. Um, no thanks, and I will continue up the stairs.
continue up the stairs. The screaming continues. You continue. Jay and Alice, you continuing your way up. And you begin to hear the screaming. Do you follow?
Still up the stairs, or is it like coming off around
Up
floor?
the stairs. It's like further upstairs somewhere.
Yeah, Tyson's goal is the roof mainly, so it's going to keep going up as far as the stairwell will go.
So
I don't like that face. Hi, I'd like to rescind my vote.
Alice, you're making your way up the stairwell. And you're hearing this screaming pick up. It sounds really familiar. And the further up the stairs you go, why does it sound like you?
I want to grab Tyson's hand and like stop him. Just be like, are we sure this is nothing good can be up there? Are we sure this is what the direction? We haven't seen any cats. Like, is this is what we're doing?
Honestly, nothing makes sense. What's the worst that happens? We get up there and die. Either we start over or it's all over.
What if what is up there is bad enough? Like, yeah, we could die and do this whole thing over, but what if it's something we don't want to have to remember for however many more days we have to do this?
I have been on a yacht where I had to both watch myself and another person murder everyone I cared about. I've been in a mansion watching someone I cared about be strung up from a chandelier, throw someone down the stairs and break their neck. I've seen more things than I would like to open their jaws to bite off parts of my limb. I have been shot, beat by chairs, possibly watched my own birth on a demon cult floor of the roof on the highest attic of a mansion. Been in an asylum. I've watched my friends get re-sewn together, severed apart. I have seen hell. I've seen the horizon. I've seen angels and demons of sorts. I've seen all forms of chaos. And out of all that, what I find that I hate the most is not knowing what's next. So I'd rather face it, accept it, and deal with the consequences than sit in this confusion. So up there may be something you don't want to remember, but at the same time, there's an ending torment that pulls you apart, severs your psyche. I remember all those things because they all have happened or maybe haven't. I have scars from some of them and not from others, and it loops over and over and over. But I think the worst is I have memories of not fighting, of this weird sense that I'm watching my own life go by. Not facing the misery that's on the other side of this is worse, because then you no longer live a life. You're just a piece of a puzzle being moved around. And it may still be the case here, but at least in this option, facing whatever the hell is up there, I, in this moment, sincerely believe that's my choice to face. And for all the bullshit that is, this is the only way free will can even occur.
And if we get out of this game, will you still remember all that?
I have yet to forget a single thing. Every detail. Some of it's blurry, some of it's more clear, some of it comes in and out. But I remember each and every person I've worked with. Jack, Silas, Eleonora, Teddy, Nora, her mother, Hanson, Mimi, all of them. And they all replicate themselves, whether it's my own imagination or whatever's trying to make this. So I won't know. I don't know if I'll remember. You, much like Fox, may just become fragments, reborn, assimilated into the new game, or carried with me. And for all I know, I'm not even the main focus of all this. But I'd rather face it, deal with it. I'd rather keep fighting for all eternity than just sit and let it happen and pretend that this is okay.
Fuck. Let's go then.
Okay, so you guys continue up the stairwell. Fox, eventually the screaming becomes extremely loud, and you do make it to the roof of the building. You open the door to this roof, and you look out. The first thing you see are strange runic lines drawn.
Is it similar to what Tyson had made in the coffee shop?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's a bowl, a brass bowl with some kind of herbs or incense or something. You're not sure. You look over, just peering down, and there's a woman with blonde hair. Alice, would you like to describe the scene by chance using all of your beautiful imagination that Fox rolls up on top of?
It would be Alice being tied down and kind of, I'm not sure what how you would describe the creatures or entities that exist, but however you would choose to describe them would be continuously pulling her skin off of her body. And she's just screaming in pain. And some of them are like eating it. Some of them are just like throwing it around. But once like all of the skin is gone, it just like starts to grow back. And it seems like that is just as painful as it being removed. And the cycle just keeps happening, and it just, you can hear the skin tearing, like it's not being cut, it's being like pulled off, like from her feet, from like the tops of her hands, her torso, everywhere.
Yeah. And the entities standing around are long and lanky. They have pale white flesh, kind of moon-shaped faces as they continue. Eventually, so Fox, you immediately stumble up on this. What is your initial reaction having seen this horror in front of you? Because you do recognize And with that, I will also need you to keep it together.
You shit. 13.
13. Okay. Yeah, so you will see this. And how does this affect Fox seeing this? I mean, what is his initial?
In yesterday's version, he probably would have run, but he knows how that feels. So, I will make every attempt to get them to stop. So I'll do the sort of testosterone driven peacock dance, like stand there and yell loudly and shake my fists. And then if that doesn't work, then I will engage in old fashioned fisticuffs.
Okay, so you start yelling, which you will lose 1 stability because you become enraged. And as you start yelling at them, these creatures leave Alice briefly and run to you. And as they stop, Alice is calling to them to return to her.
God.
But they run to you and they knock you back through the door. And it slams and you hear a latch as you begin to roll back down the stairwell just a bit and into Tyson and Alice.
Into us.
Yes, like do. There's Fox.
What?
What was up there?
You sort of.
Okay, you are a writer. I would like a few more words than that.
Yeah, give me a second. There were creatures torturing Alice in sort of a, ironically, for allegory's sake, repeated fashion. I tried to scare them off because it's not all that great having been left alone to die. But then she beckoned them to return. And I was knocked into you guys. And the door is now shut and latched. I think that's what I heard. Alice. What? That's it.
You have answers.
Just memories of a party that got out of hand, but it's just somebody trying to push my buttons. It's nothing.
Another distraction.
Now, in that moment, as she says that, the hallway door nearest, which is your floor, Fox, the door creaks open. And from down the hallway, you hear a needle hit your record player. And a song begins to play. From the record.
I know, and it's hard to get back to A place you've never been. A place you've never been before. You hate to see it. You see the hatred. You see the hatred.
And that's what you hear echoing through the hallway from your apartment.
Okay.
Tyson, you recognize that song immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Fox, you don't own that record.
That's not mine. I mean, it's mine, but that's not one of mine.
Tyson's gonna go towards it,
Okay.
where he heard it coming from.
Alice, what are you doing?
I want to walk the couple steps up and just put my ear against the door.
Mm-hmm. You hear it all. Your flesh almost crawls with it.
And I'll just kind of shake it off and like very briskly brush past Fox and follow Tyson.
Fox, do you follow them into your apartment?
Yes, but on my way down the hallway, I will call out for Onyx.
Eventually, you hear little pitter patters, and they're coming up the stairwell, and rubbing on your leg is the little eldritch meow meow. As it looks up at you, again, the pupils flatten.
That's actually comforting now, so I'm picking him up.
You pick him up, and there's definitely like the little bow as it requests to be held like a baby again, and is carried into the apartment.
I guess I'll be the last one in.
As you enter into your apartment, Tyson, you first enter in and you see a record player spinning nothing. There is nothing on the table, nothing on the turntable. It is just spinning, and this is what is playing. Alice, you walk in and see a similar sight. Fox, you enter in and the door slams behind you. Before looking up in the corner, there is a ghostly white figure staring at you, Tyson. And that, after your response.
Depending on, is it who I think it is?
Yes. You know. Yes. You look up and it's Eleonora.
Why can nothing be straightforward? She
points out the window as it begins to rain ash and blood. And that is actually where we're going to end tonight's episode. Episode 2 of Chapter 3 of Far Realms. Dear God, I love you guys. You are amazing. This is fun. Just building it up to things, you guys. The puzzle's a lot bigger than casual thought, clearly, which is why he's rage quit. So thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Let's go ahead and give the quick shout out awesomeness from my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful players. Ronan?
Yeah, I'm Ronan.
Yeah.
Probably. That's it. Find me on Twitter. I tweet about my book. And which I didn't.
Tuesday.
Yeah, I was going to get there, but I didn't specify. My book is, for those that may be interested, it is hopefully going to be a volume series that sort of takes the best of sort of anime storytelling and combines it with a traditional Western high fantasy setting. And on Tuesdays, you can find me on the Red Hair Inn every other Tuesday, where I play a wizard who also does not have his crap together. I have a type. That's me.
Hey.
I got nothing to say. Tyson's who I play. You can call me Jay. Casual. I mean, all social media, angrily at Just Too Casual, as I tweet things that are generally motivational and my projects of writing things. And you can also follow me on Twitch at Casual Creativity, where I do variety streaming, gaming, and writing my world-building TTRPG, Deep Breath, the retrofuturistic urban fantasy in which magic meets technology, inspired by anime, manga, and JRPGs. You can follow that at Deep Breath RPG, and also the website deepbreathrpg.com. That's DEEP bread RPG.com.
I'm so happy right now because Ronan is busted. Like, we are beyond broken, just straight busted. And I owe that in so much.
I died, and it wasn't the weirdest thing on this episode. Okay.
So Rachel.
Hi, I'm Rachel Beauregard. I'm an actor, artist, gamer. You can find me intermittently here on the Initiative Order. Sometimes it happens. I'm going to be appearing on Whiskey Reacts podcast on an upcoming episode. We'll be appearing on a Canadian television show soon. I will post those details on my Instagram at Manic Pixie Tank Girl. You can follow my artist page, Bad Duck Design, where I post things that are nerdy and gay. A lot of Critical Role memes that I make in 2 minutes that are bad on purpose because there's so little to feel joyful about sometimes in the world. So if I can make shitty little nonsense memes to make you smile on a Thursday night or Friday morning, then I will do that. You can also find me on Twitch at Sugarpunk. I will lurk in the chats. I have been known to do that. And I'm just so happy to be here where my inner spooky girl can just like feel so understood and so expressed. I'm so pleased.
I am so grateful and so joyful that you are here because, again, that mind-blowing moment was brought to you by Rachel, and that makes my heart happy because it's not very often I get assistance in breaking both Ronan and Jay. My name is Taryn Hackett, also known as Val Rook across the socials, especially on the Instagram, because it's where I'm the most active in the middle of a move, so things are not as active as they should be. I'll try to get back. But I am a generally creative human and eldritch entity feeding on the torment of my friends. But I'm a dice maker. I make click-clacks under the moniker of Umbral Oculus Dice. That is UO_dice on the Instagram. I do have dice in stock right now. If you would like 10% off of a full set, you can enter in code INITIATIVE at checkout for 10% off of those full sets. And with that, a big freaking thank you to Danny for nailing it with the freaking record player again, because freaking amazing tech and just so much grateful there. And again, quick thank yous to all of our sponsors, Session Zero Clothing, D&D inspired streetwear, so that's order at checkout for 15% off. Norse Foundry dice makers as well, TIO 15 at checkout for 15% off there. Roaming player gear, amazing tabletop supplies by our very own Got DM. You can enter in code Carnaby20 for 20% off their dice tower and tray combo set. And of course, Mithril Armory, makers of the 10/20 foldable metal dice puzzles. Enter in code initiative for 10% off there. Thank you all so much for joining in on tonight's festivities. Murder, gore, awful things. I don't know. It was good time for me though. And look at Ronan's face. That's everything. And look at poor Jay. So yeah, thank you all so much. And we will see you next time on the Initiative Order, where we will continue to torment my poor friends for fun. So yeah, we will see you next time. Have a good night.